No one had ever predicted. Nobody said, how could we have possibly thought this would happen? Nobody ever. I'm like, hello, it was our pilot. What do you mean nobody?
So that freaked everybody out.
Yeah.
And it freaked out the writers too, oddly enough, because they are like, well, wait a sec. Now, this shifts everything that we've been doing. But we tapped into something that we don't know about.
And creating it. Are you willing it enough? Are you believing it enough that it can actually happen? And getting enough people to believe it with you.
It wasn't just that we knew it was going to happen. It's that we knew it was going to happen because we did it.
Operation Gladio was an exercise in the 1970s and 1980s of units, cell units that had been left over after World War II to provide resistance against any incoming Soviet invasion. And in order to justify their continued existence and funding and arming, they actually started carrying out terrorist attacks across Italy and blaming it on the far left. And this has actually happened. This has been, documented and certified. This is kind of a horrendous true story of false flag operations carried out by people who are supposed to be acting in our defense.
We don't totally agree on the reasoning, the momentum behind it, but we do agree on the fact that there was something going on that was not what was actually presented to us.
And we made sure to vilify people in Arab nations, people who are living on top of oil, the same way we vilified the Russians a long time ago and communists and whatever. We made those the enemy, those people the enemy.
Right.
So that we could get everybody to rally together and not stop and say, wait a minute.
And these buildings were massive steel, grid of steel wrapped around both towers. 47 massive steel columns interlocked with each other through the entire height of the building. Every floor was made of steel. You want to believe that these towers turned themselves into powder in 10 seconds. That's 110 floors gone in 10 seconds.
My eyes don't lie. I saw implosions. It's all MOF, matter of fact, that two planes by themselves did not cause 16 acres of damage. It just didn't happen.
See, and what I think is it's just like an earthquake or a bomb. The vibration alone of that impact would create literally a core shaking situation that would bring down exactly that many structures in exactly that radius.
There's a great guy from Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth, David Chandler, and he puts out videos that really point out some obvious problems with what we're looking at, and that it has to be explosives are being used.
I understand also that those architects and engineers in 9/11 also focus on Building 7.
The television is hiding Building 7 from you. They don't want you to see Building 7. Because they know if you see Building 7 coming down, you'll know that 9/11 was an inside job. The building came straight down in 6.5 seconds. It's an obvious controlled demolition. You've seen it before. You know what it is. It's an obvious controlled demolition.
There is part of me that believes this was just a sadly well-executed plan by a bunch of fanatics who really, who did this and the government had nothing to do with it,
Right.
whatever.
So you can balance both that truth and...
I can't balance anything. I
Everything's out of balance?
can completely go this way and then completely go that way. The only thing
Try
is,
living with it.
the only thing is in the subsequent actions like carpet bombing Iraq or whatever.
Right.
I can't see that as
600,000 Iraqi civilians died.
oh, it's
That many?
mass murder.
didn't know
This
that.
is crime.
Nobody talks about it.
No one touched it.
So will ever 9/11 and all these things, will that truth ever come out?
Well, if 80% of the people recognize that 9/11 was an inside job, whether or not there's an investigation, then that's probably a good thing. They'll be less likely to be conned into believing another attack.
We look through a tiny little slit we call consciousness.